third day of the International Conference on Cross-Cultural Transmission of Buddhist Texts. Today happens to be the second session on critical editions. I request the other participants of the session to come over. I welcome Professor G. A. Somaratne, Professor Bimlendra Kumar, Professor Lata Devkar, and Professor Ajay Kumar Singh in absentia. It is a privilege to introduce the chairperson of the session today. A warm welcome to you also, sir. It is a pleasure that we have on the campus a scholar, an eminent scholar in Professor Shrikant Bahulkar. Now he is the adjunct professor at the K.J. Somaiya Center for Buddhist Studies. Previously, he has held teaching positions in the Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapith, Pune, in Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies at Pune, in Central University for Tibetan Studies at Sarnath, and he has also been a research fellow in Japan twice at the Nagoya University. He has also held the Monbusho Scholarship. He has also been visiting faculty at Harvard, at Freie Universität Berlin, and University of British Columbia. So indeed, it's a happy occasion for me to introduce our chairperson here. Now, I request him to take over the session.
Suprabhatam. Good morning, everyone. In this session, we have in all 5 papers. G. A. Somaratne, Bimlendra Kumar, Lata Mahesh Devkar, Ajay Kumar Singh, and Dr. Raka Jain. Professor Bimlendra Kumar and Professor Ajay Kumar Singh have not been able to attend this conference, so we have practically only 3 papers. I request Professor G. A. Somaratne to present his paper. Before that, I'll introduce him. G. A. Somaratne is presently Rector, Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy, Kandy, as well as Board Director, Dhammachai Tipitaka Project, Ireland. He received his PhD from Northwestern University, USA, and has been a research fellow at the Pali Text Society, UK, and a senior research fellow at Balliol College, Oxford University. He has served as professor and head of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies, University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. He is going to speak on accounting for the differences among witnesses, a disciplined application of common sense. I request him to present his paper.
So my topic today is accounting for the differences among the witnesses, a disciplined application of the common sense. So that basically about textual criticism, how we apply the textual criticism in deciding some readings. Textual criticism is a scientific method of story. It is a scientific method of restoring the original text. It is a disciplined process, a creative process. Its rules are about how the textual critic applies the common sense. with good judgment and insight. What is a text? A text is an intangible entity. It is the content or the wording of a given text. It can be copied. The work perishes, the text survives if it has been copied. What is a manuscript? Manuscript is a particular copy of the text. The same text may be written down in many different manuscripts. Copying is a source of both survival and production for text. The very process that preserves the text of both that is copying also exposes it to danger. The survival of a text over a long period of time is possible only if it is copied many times. Such a text is especially liable to corruption. When producing a new copy from an exemplar, the scribe naturally adds errors to the text. The surviving copies or manuscripts are the witnesses to the text. They bear witness in determining the original form of the text. Of course, they are more or less corrupt. They deviate from a hypothetical earlier text. In recovering the original form of the words, textual critics need to account for the differences among the witnesses and to retrace the steps of the ancient scribes. Textual criticism helps enhancing the integrity of a text based on the texted witnesses. The critic collates the copies and draws conclusions about the divergences between them. The aim is to recover an earlier, more authentic and therefore superior form of the text. This presentation, so very brief during a short period of time, discusses how the Pali textual critic account for the differences among the witnesses in order to retrace the steps of the ancient scribes in recovering a more original form of the words. The examples are taken from the Dhamacaya Tipitaka project of Vajra Dhammakaya Thailand. The Tipitaka project at Dhammakaya works towards producing a critical edition of the Pali Canon. The first volume is almost completed. Okay, for this edition of the Silakandavaka of the Digha Nikaya, the first volume, what we call Book 1, we use palm leaf manuscripts in the scripts of Sinhala, Burmese, Khmer, Tamlana and Tamlanya. That's basically the Tamlana Northern Thai manuscripts. Tamlanya, my pronunciation may be different, but Tamlanya is the southeastern part of the Laos area manuscripts. So we have digitized the images of 40 manuscripts. Out of them, to a careful study, we selected 18 manuscripts for the use. We recorded the readings by way of mutual comparison in a synoptic style charts under 4 script traditions. So we counted Tamlana and Tamlanja as Tam manuscripts or Lana manuscripts. We identify and remove the mistakes and intentional deviations accumulated in the transmitted text to a certain extent. In recovering this Digha Nikaya, this first volume, as we presently call, how far could we possibly take the text backward into the past based on the extant witnesses? Fortunately, we have the Pali commentary, the Sumangala Vilasani of Venerable Buddha. Can we trace the text of the Digha Nikaya that was in front of Venerable Buddha when he was writing from his comments? But there is a challenge. No commentary on each and every word of the text. No properly or critically edited Sumangal Vilas. And of course, there is a critical edition done by Pali Text Society. If you compare it with some of the other editions, particularly local editions, you will find that there are problems in that critical edition. Finding varying readings and comments in the existing local critical editions, because there are so many variations. For example, this Adimutti Padani Vadimutti Padani, this word. Southeast Asian manuscripts and editions record Aneka Vihitani Adimutti Padani Abhivadanti. Then the commentary of this Southeast Asian region, including Chatta Samgiti, it says Adimutti Padani iti Adivachana Padani. So that means it supports the Adimutti Padani. Then the Sinhalese manuscripts and Buddha Jayanti Sinhalese Sri Lankan edition and also PTS goes in another direction. Aneka Vihitani Adibuddhi Padani Abhivadanti is coming in the text. Buddhi Padani. Then commentary also attested with it. Adibuddhi Padani Adivachana Padani. So then how can we decide which one is correct? Adimutti Padani and Adibuddhi Padani based on the commentary. Because commentary in different regions, including the PTS, they cite like I go with one way or the other. Please also take a look at this proper name. Kokkarasadi iti idam tassa nama. Kokkarasadi tipi Ujjati. This is this Buddha Jayanti, Sri Lankan Simon commentary and also PTS edition. There is Kokkarasadi ti idam tassa nama. Kokkarasadi tipi Ujjati. But in the Chatta Samgiti, that series commentary, Burmese commentary, it says, Kokkarasati idam tassa nama, kasma Kokkarasati Ujjati. So this is the commentary differences. So how can we decide which is correct, Kokkarasati or Kokkarasati? But the commentary also different. Like, of course, Kokkarasati idam tassa nama or Kokkarasati idam tassa nama. Which one? But the explanation Kokkarasati tipi Ujjati, there is a variant given in the Sinhalese and the PTS editions, but then Chatta Samgiti, Kasma Kokkarasati iti Ujjati, totally different sentence. Text and the Pali language, both are complex and highly diverse. Text is, like the Tipitaka, is not composed by a single person. It has a long history of diverse transmission. I think yesterday we discussed somewhat on these also. Pali is a Middle-Indic language. It allows a significant variation, including varying degrees of Sanskritization, as some scholars call it. A word-for-word copy of the Venerable Buddha Gossa's text is beyond historical reconstruction. Venerable Buddha Gossa's commentary indicates an awareness of different readings too. Please read this. Kaya nuttati katamaya nukhataya sannisina bhavatati attu. Then kaya nettati pipali. So now Venerable Buddha Gossa is introducing some variants that he finds in front of him. Tassa katamayanu ettati atto kaya nottati pali. Tassapi purimoyev atto. So here we will notice that Venerable Buddha Gossa, in front of Venerable Buddha Gossa, there is a text, or there are maybe several texts of the Sumangala Vilasini, and then now he is also finding variation there. Kaya nuttati, kaya nettati, kaya notta. So as I earlier said that for our edition we use 18 manuscripts, 5 from Myanmar, the Burmese manuscripts. So we introduced some acronyms, BY1, this is the oldest manuscripts, surviving manuscripts. It's 1679. I think he is 333 years old. And then the second manuscript BM 1767 is the copy date. Interestingly, if you read here, every letter of the Tripitaka is like a Buddha statue. I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I think some of you presented here this idea. Only a learned person should copy. Venerable Agga Sabha, please do not harm the sacred text of the Sri Lankan Pali. If you do so, you will go to hell. This is in the Quran. So the BY2 1774 is a young one, and then the other two are BY3 and BY4. Then we also use Sinhalese minus 5. Of course, we recorded many, but finally we selected 5. The oldest one is 1744. So it's in Kurunagal area, but there is a sort of a link of that manuscript to Kandy, because the Navis Tibbatuave is a pupil of Venerable Sanyankar, a famous monk in Sri Lanka those days. So he was residing in Kandy. Then CV is also from the Kurunagal area, and the copy's name is given. Of course, 4 copies. More talent. He had copies from that big bundle for 120 folio, then Korala, Arachila, and Vedapala. So they were the copies. And then other manuscripts from down south in Matara is a very recent one, 1832, and then another one from Kandy area, 1855 CL, and then CT is from Sridhara Maliga in Kandy, the date is unknown. And then we also use 5 Kema manuscripts, KN4, KN1, K2, K3, K3, and KH. The oldest is KN4, 1777. Then we have these 3 manuscripts. First one is LS, one is slightly different in the script style. It's a northern Thai Tamlana. I think yesterday we got about Tam in Dhamma script, so Tam script. So then the LS2 is a Laos Tamlanjan, and then LS3 Tamlanjan again. But we put them together because we found these 3 manuscripts in the same temple, and the copies or the producer was Venerable Kanchan Aranyavasi and his disciples. So in each manuscript we will notice the differences in handwriting. Of course, the characters are also somewhat different. That's why we could divide them into Laos Tamlanjan and the Northern Thai Tamlanjan. And then we also use the preset editions. But here, there is a sort of a misperception among various scholars that most of the Sinhalese manuscripts are coming from the Southeast Asia. Of course, originally they were in Sri Lanka, but they were moved to Thailand and sort of Southeast Asian countries, and then later when Bhikkhu Sasana, the monastic order, that Upasampada was lost in Sri Lanka, then it was reintroduced. Together with that, the manuscript